and welcome to the first installment of Hobbit H5. I'm Rebekah Platt. H5 is a web series with a new episode each Friday that wraps up the week's key Hobbit production news, courtesy of thewondering.net, all within 5 minutes time. So without any further delay, the clock is ticking. Let's get right to it. TheWondering.net is reporting that shooting of Sir Peter Jackson's Hobbit films will begin in Wellington next month and have a possible start date that fans would love, St. Valentine's Day. Wellywood insiders have told the Dominion Post February 14th is when cameras will start rolling on the two films. However, Sir Ian McKellen, who is reprising his Lord of the Rings role as Gandalf, said via his website, "I'm happy to say I start filming in Wellington on February 21st, 2011. Film publicist Melissa Booth confirmed filming would start next month, but said that the exact date had yet to be set. The film stars would soon be arriving in Wellington to launch for production. It will be for a significant number of actors. I don't have a start date yet, but I'm hoping it will be in a couple weeks' time." In other news, The Hollywood Reporter interviewed Elijah Wood, where he emphasized that his role in the Hobbit films will not affect the integrity of the story. Wood said, "There would have only been reservation about taking the part if there had been something that had infringed upon the integrity of the original book, but that was never going to be the case." While the Rings reunion is happening, the actor does not believe it will be a repeat session where the main actors opted for bonding tattoos during the filming of the original series. "This time around," Elijah said, "I don't think so, but you never know." Also, the guys over at IGN managed to catch up with Elijah and ask him a few questions about his recent casting announcement as Frodo Baggins in the upcoming Hobbit films. Here's what he had to say. "We thought we were finished, and the character doesn't even exist in The Hobbit, so it was not even a pipe dream to imagine the possibility would be there for me to reprise the role of Frodo. But they've come up with something that I think is kind of interesting and I think very fitting that doesn't necessarily infringe upon the integrity of the original novel. It's great. I'm really excited." Continuing on, he said, "The Lord of the Rings films marked a huge, massive experience in my life. It's been 11 years, basically, since I went to New Zealand, so it'll be a beautiful reunion, and I'm just excited to go back and see everybody again." Our next story from MTV asks the question, why did it take the man behind Gandalf so long to commit officially to The Hobbit? In a surprisingly candid post on his website, Ian McKellen opened up on Wednesday, January 12th, about the behind-the-scenes developments and his own ambivalence surrounding the two-part project. "Could I let Gandalf go? Would anyone else care if I did?" he wrote, going on to cite the example of Harry Potter franchise. Elsewhere, does anyone care that Michael Gambon was not the first to play Dumbledore? The issue all along was not whether he still feels creatively energized by Gandalf. "I long to do it," McKellen told us of the role back in November 2009. Rather, the sticking point was simply that the production faced delay after delay, and as a 71-year-old McKellen put it, "All I had to decide was what to do with the time that is given to me." First, producer Peter Jackson and director Guillermo del Toro struggled to get the production off the ground as MGM faced severe financial difficulties, and then a planned date to begin shooting early last year came and went. Del Toro departed the project, Jackson stepped in to direct, and then the production faced a dust-up with New Zealand's trade union. Then the prospect of shooting outside the country bubbled up. All the while, McKellen remained fascinated with the scripts. It was true to the style, the fun, and the romance of the trilogy he wrote of the Part 1 pages. Yet when the production finally got back on track, with Martin Freeman taking on the starring role of Bilbo and a February 2011 date set to begin filming, McKellen still found himself unsure. In our final story, our sources are telling us that the always reliable and great Film on Disc website, digitalbits.com, is correct in its Lord of the Rings Blu-ray news. Bill Hunt released the information in his column. "We had not heard of a final decision had been reached, but Hunt knows his stuff and can be trusted. This is both good and bad." The good news, expect the extended edition version of all three Lord of the Rings films in 2011. Well, that's it for this installment of Hobbit H5. I'm Rebekah Platt, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned next week as we present a full breakdown on casting, so there will be no more questions on who's playing what role, and who knows what other special goodies we might have for you. So until next time. I am excited that Orlando Bloom will be back, though.
You are?
I'm very excited.
Well, that's fantastic.
Even though he's married.
Lesbian?
And he has a kid. Orlando Bloom is not female.